Hey now, my name is Nick from Board Game Brawl, and this is your Kickstarter update. And I know that I talk a lot about gloom and doom, and I make snarky comments about the publishers and designers on Kickstarter, but how about some good news for a change? Odin's Ravens is a long out-of-print cult classic, and a couple of years ago, Seth Nemec and his company Works Limited were going to print a new edition of the game using Kickstarter. The project was successful, and then Seth Nemec seemed to disappear. Some articles were unearthed showing that he was actually a notorious scam artist, and it seemed like that there would be no reprint of the game. None of the Kickstarter backers were going to get their money back, and this was just a tragic footnote in the history of Kickstarter in board games. However, Osprey Games has stepped forward, and not only are they printing a new edition of the game with much better artwork, they are actually going to fulfill the orders for those Kickstarter backers who were swindled by Nemec. All you have to do is pay for shipping. This is definitely a feel-good story, and I'm happy to hear it. This is much like what happened with Cryptozoic Games and the Doom that came to Atlantic City. I wouldn't get my hopes up if you were screwed by another Kickstarter project and hoping that an angel investor comes in and just swoops in and saves the project. These kind of things are pretty rare, but definitely it's good to see. Grail Games is bringing you the North American version of Guns and Steel from Moa Ideas Game Design. I'm a fan of that studio, and also I have reviewed the original printing of Guns and Steel, and it is awesome. It is like a civilization building game with a pyramid of cards. You can use your cards for multiple things, as resources, as abilities to attack. It's really neat. And I even have a copy of the Taiwanese edition of Guns and Steel's new edition. I know it's tough keeping track of these printings, but I haven't played it yet, but I can tell you that the graphic design and artwork are much better, which is one of the big issues of the original game. And also I even heard that they made some tweaks to the system in a beneficial way to address some issues that I had. So I'm really looking forward to it, and you definitely need to check this game out and all the other games that Moa Ideas do, because they are a really quirky and neat and innovative studio. Foresight Games is bringing you Fate of Acheron Tribes. This is a light card game. Each player takes control of a different faction, like elves, undead, orcs, and you are engaged in skirmish battles with the other player, trying to bring out cards that have better combat values and different special abilities in order to get better cards in hand. It has really cool artwork, and if those kind of tactical two-player games that are light but have some strategy are your kind of thing, you should give it a look. B Legend Ragnarok is from designer Mark Laufer. In this game, you take control of the Norse pantheon, and you are trying to go around the board using ability cards that you prep ahead of time in order to take out the other players and get their emblems. There's also an expansion up at the same time that lets you play as the heroes and villains of Arthurian legend. If either of those themes appeal to you greatly, you should definitely give this one a look. My name is Nick from Board Game Brawl. You can check me out at youtube.com/BoardGameBrawl. This has been your Kickstarter update, and grass tastes bad.